Maya asks, "Hey guys, just want to say..."
I liked you in Killer Instinct too.
Actually, you weren't bad, Maya. You weren't bad.
You weren't so great in Ace Attorney, though.
Fuck that other girl, though. She's garbage.
This is by Maya Angelou that's sending us this.
Maya Angelou's like, Kim Woo's a shit. No one likes Kim Woo. She asked, "Hey, should I give my 14-year-old brother my old PlayStation games that I loved, but he hasn't played, or should I just give him a new game?" I think the point...
I need
kinda,
more context.
Yeah, I think she's kind of getting at, like, I'm trying to show my brother video games.
Yeah, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back.
Ultimately,
It
younger,
is.
you're less likely to be like, what the hell?
But I will say this, right? And here I go, being nice before you shut me down in some stupid fucking way again in another video.
He's talking to Liam, by the way.
Yes, I'm talking to Liam, because no one remembers the building up of Liam that I did before you existed on this damn thing. But Liam is the product of...
The product. Wow.
He is the product of
Wow.
a childhood where he was displaced from the era that he should have been gaming in.
Okay.
Because he had access to a Genesis and old shit that mattered.
That's weird.
Because he was isolated. So as a result...
Out in the country, you can't have PlayStation.
Yeah. So he knows the shit that matters.
Those require electricity.
And he grew up and had a pseudo childhood like we did.
In a bubble.
Years in the future.
It's
because he didn't have access.
Liam's basically from the future.
and he's better off for it. I'm giving you a compliment.
No, I thought what you were gonna say, like the product of. I thought you were gonna be like, I showed him Mega Man X. I was like, fuck you. But no, that is true. It was really weird how like I had an NES Genesis and a 2600 when the PS1 was out.
That's weird.
Someone your age should not be obsessed with Streets of Rage.
No,
but
like,
you are, and it's a super old
Holy
game.
shit!
That's
The Streets of Rage came out before you were born.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's our childhood, and that's his thing.
When I had my job interview at THQ, they asked me what my favorite game was, and I said Streets of Rage, and he said, "Sorry, how old are you?" And he was like, "Wait, that came out the same year you were born." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "How is that your favorite?" And
then they're like, "That's stupid. We
And he's
only,
like,
we only hire people that like Final Fantasy."
I was the
Get
most
out.
legit baby ever.
No.
This is a weird question because
It's a hard
my
question.
answer overall would be, of course, those games are probably great. If you love them, you probably have decent taste. They're probably great. Depends on your little brother.
Yes.
I was at 14, when I had a PlayStation or even PS2,
Whatever it was.
I could see a Genesis or Super Nintendo game that I didn't know about and go, "Wow, that looks awesome."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some people can't. Some
kids
people
aren't like that.
Some people like I could give a friend of mine is playing through Xenogears right now, and he's going, "Wow, this is really cool," because he can put himself back into the PS1 era. If you gave FF7 to like a 15-year-old, many of them now would go, "What the fuck? This is garbage."
It's unplayable. Yeah.
I think the best way to do it, if you have the time, would honestly probably
even
like
turn
sit
it
down
on.
with him and try to play a game with him.
I
And
think
see how he responds to that.
The tricky thing about 14 is that you've already established tastes and likes by that point.
Yeah.
So he will have played video games. What will they have been? Will they have been more modern games?
In this
You know?
case, if I was in this situation, you have a 14-year-old or whatever to play games, I would not give him the old games I treasure, because in case he hates them, fuck you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to
see.
get angry, so here's new games that I think are good.
Because I have my nephews that were like under 10 fucking doing crazy kill streaks in Halo, right? And they were playing God of War and Call of Duty and whatchamacallit, Grand Theft Auto all the time.
Yeah.
So like, you can't even whisper an old school 16-bit game at them and not get laughed out of the house.
There's a certain like point in your brain where, depending on when that kid started to play games, like the idea of reading, like the primary method of delivery is text.
It's a problem.
Instead of voice.
Yeah.
Can be a huge barrier.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying 14-year-olds nowadays can't read.
No,
they
not
can
at all.
probably
A lot
read.
of
That's
them
probably they could probably read.
My like 11-year-old sister.
Can she read?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, awesome.
I was like, I want to play a game. Let's play a game. And I was like, what do I even have that she can play?
That would be appropriate.
on her
You should probably
360?
have thought of that before you asked the question.
And I was like, Blue Dragon.
Oh!
So I whipped out Blue Dragon because it's just fucking Dragon Quest, and I was like, "What do you think?"
I think
And-
we've heard the second part of this story.
Probably.
Where you were like, "Oh God, I'm sorry."
Well, yeah, because it's not a great game. But like an hour into the game, she was just fucking done. She just couldn't play it because like text and like
Yeah.
It was just
In their mind, those games are mobile games.
Yeah.
That's what's
And even
Man,
for
it's so
even for
depressing.
me, who played all this shit like when it was out, there are certain parts of certain games that you just can never go back to. I can't play Deus Ex 1 anymore
Yeah, we talked
because the
about
way
this.
the controls work. I just can't deal with it. The fact that you can aim at something and shoot it and clearly hit it and it does nothing or something, that drives me nuts. I can't do
A
it.
lot of PlayStation 64 games are like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, I can't play this anymore.
Just
16-bit games.
Just old
fine.
feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So
old jank. So
it depends on how smart and awesome your brother
and
is.
willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, sit down with him, see what he thinks.
And
Like
pick
honestly,
If
play
he's
them
like the
with him.
average
Pick the good
14-year-old,
ones.
don't do it.
No, but pick some of the good ones. You
Yeah,
know
pick,
what they are.
Pick the
Yeah.
most broad, accessible one.
Yeah.
And if that don't work, then just stop.
Yeah, definitely
Right.
don't start with.
But
like,
if it does work,
whatever.
then you can jump back and forth generations.
Yeah.
But you can start showing him the old things that matter. Absolutely. Good question.
Yeah,
that was a really
definitely
good
really
question.
tricky.
I'm glad
question.
I don't have any younger siblings. Ugh, they're the worst.